Hi guys, welcome back to another overthrow disc golf video. As always, thank you so much for tuning in. Today, I want to talk about the #1 upper body preparation issue that I see with players throwing the forehand. I've been seeing it a lot recently, not exactly sure why, but let's fix it. Drop. Now, the position that you want to be in when you prepare is something that looks like this, or maybe an acceptable alternate to it might be this, right? But most times in disc golf, we're seeing this. If I was standing straight up, which we rarely do on the forehand, but this. The thing that I'm seeing are people prepared like this with their hands down below their elbow, or maybe even the elbow too tight to the side to start. We really want, when we separate the hands here, to get this elbow up closer to this 90-degree separation here from the body, right? It could be a little less, but we don't want much higher than that. Somewhere around 90, right? Maybe a little bit less. So if you're behind me and you're looking at the hand position, for me, it's about at this 1 o'clock position if this was a clock face, right? You could go to about 12, 1, somewhere in there. We don't want it over here around 3 or worse for sure, right? So somewhere around this 1 o'clock hand position, again, if I were standing upright, that's what it would look like. So I've got this kind of classic L shape that you would pull from throwing sports or like a tennis serve, right? The reason that we want this hand up towards this position is because if it's down at this 3 o'clock position and I start with my forward body move, there's too much slack in the arm. So now when I start moving the body forward and it starts tugging on this shoulder, well, the hand still has all this room to move back, right? And the shoulder has all this room to rotate externally would be the fancy wording for it, but it can rotate back like this. So when it rotates back like that, if we don't have the slack already in there, it's gonna kind of have to whip back and forth. Either you're gonna have to take it forcibly back there with your hand, or your body's not gonna be able to pull the slack out quick enough because there's too much of it, and now you're gonna end up pushing the disc forward. Instead, if we were in this kind of 1 o'clock, 12 o'clock position up here, my shoulder can't really rotate that much further back, right? So the second I start opening up the body on the shot, it starts moving the disc forward right away. So it gives you the sensation that after you load, the only thing that can happen is forward. Your body tends to like that a bit more, not just for power, but kind of health reasons. You don't want to put that force on your arm. Also, we want to be able to stretch out this arm, stretch out this body away from the disc as much as we can to get as much of that kind of rubber band effect that sometimes you hear people talk about on the backhand side. As the hands separate, you're getting into a version of this L. In disc golf, it's very common for us to see this, but notice I've got this L shape here. It's not here, it's not here. It's the shoulders are in line with one another, the elbows up, giving us that 90-degree away from the body, so we've got a straight line here. I'll let you work some magic there, Mikey. All right. So we've got a straight line here between the main components of the arm, the shoulders, and the elbow. Your body just likes that position. So again here, disc golf variation seems to be here. Don't ask me why. I'm not sure. I just know long throwers do it often. And so that prep. Now, when we add in the bend here, we get this position, which you see more likely. And then once the body moves forward, I know what you're thinking. How am I not just gonna throw an Anheuser here? Well, when we lead properly with the body out of here, that hand being loose is gonna lay back and it's gonna flatten out that swing a bit. Now, it's not gonna make it totally flat. You might have to adjust more or less body angle, but it's not gonna be from here, there. So during our walk-up, usually people start separating somewhere around the hop, there, right? And from there, you're good to go. I've got the L shape, and now the next thing that's gonna happen is my body's gonna go and I'll leave my hand until it's pulled, and then pop. All right, guys, it's really worth, I think, grinding out that kind of fundamental position in the forehand, just getting in that nice L-shaped throwing position that we know is tried and true from other sports. So grind that out. If you still need help, of course, we have lessons on our Patreon, the link in the description below. Until next time, peace.